Congrats, guys. We made it. To my fellow graduating seniors, you guys are some of the smartest engineers that I know. I'm so lucky to have spent the last 4 years with all of you. Now let's go out there and show the world what we can do. Go Orediggers!
It's been a heck of a ride. I'm really thankful for all the friendships that I've made here at Mines. I know we're all going to be successful in any path that we choose, and just best of luck in the future.
I think one of the most special things about Mines is that the atmosphere is so welcoming and fun. Professors are accessible and helpful, and I really hope that we can all carry that attitude of teaching and learning with us into the working world.
Being a graduate from Mines, I think it's mark of excellence because you did it.
Hey guys, it's really cool to be one of the first to say congratulations to the Mines class of 2020. For a lot of us, getting this degree is the final big step before entering the real world, and it just feels surreal. I couldn't be more excited than to bring along a lot of the memories and lessons I've learned at my time in Mines.
Congratulations, Mines graduates!
Congrats, class of 2020! We got to start college by carrying a 10-pound rock up a mountain, and now the day we've all been waiting for, when we finally get to cross that virtual Zoom stage.
During the past 4 years, some of my favorite memories have been E-days, late night study sessions with friends, and an afternoon brew at GCB. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Bitten on the Mountain always served as a great beacon for home. I'm terrible at directions, so it was helpful. E-days in general, but specifically the fireworks, and most importantly, the community at Mines. I think that's really what makes Mines Mines.
I know that times are tough, but now more than ever we need good engineers and strong leaders. I know that Mines students, especially those graduating, can be those good engineers and strong leaders.
I wanted to share how grateful I am for the supportive community I found in the physics department here at Mines. I'll miss seeing all of you each day in the computer lab and all the shenanigans and memes that kept us sane through it all.
Oh my gosh, how these past 4 years have flown by. I'm just so grateful for all of you and the community we've built together. Whether it's late night library trips or some E-Day shenanigans, I feel like y'all have made Golden a truly special place. Thank you.
I want to give a massive thank you to everyone who supported me during my time at Mines, and a special thanks to all of the professors at the geology department, all of whom really rock, supported all of our nice work, and really helped us keep our shits together on our way to this big day.
My favorite thing about Mines is that wherever you look, there's a community of people there to help you get through it. I call them families. I've been lucky enough to be a part of the Harvey, McBride, Maker Society, and electrical engineering families, and my actual family, and I can't imagine the last 4 years without all of these incredible people. Thank you all so much.
Congrats to all my fellow graduates. I know this isn't exactly how we imagined it going, but we did it. Best of luck to everyone going out into this crazy world after this, and don't forget to take your whiskey clear.
My fellow students, have fun out there.
I'd just like to thank all of my professors who really got to know me as a person, and we got to talk about things like life and academics, but also things like housing, mortgages, or industry. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to get to know me, and I really appreciate it.
I want to thank my family, friends, teammates, and coaches. You all have left such an impact on my life. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all. Go Orediggers.
Mines will always have a place in my heart, and this is one of the greatest 4 years of my life.
I have loved my time at Mines for the past 4 years and can't wait to be at Mines alum.
Thank you to all my family and friends who have supported me throughout my time at Mines. Couldn't have done it without you. To all my fellow graduates, good luck in wherever life takes you next in these uncertain times. And to all my friends still at Mines, good luck in your future semesters. Maybe I'll see you at homecoming. Goodbye Mines, hello life.
Just wanted to remind everyone that no matter where you are, we done did the college thing. And it's one hell of a thing.
Hello my fellow graduates, a big congratulations to you. You are now among the most elite, an Oredigger alumni. May your resilience and brilliance take you far into your future career paths. Go class of 2020, woo!
Thank you fellow Orediggers for making these 4 years a blast. And thank you to the families of those Orediggers for supporting them through everything. We did it, and we'll continue doing it.
Congrats again to everybody. Go celebrate, you earned it.
Welcome to the Colorado School of Mines virtual commencement. Today, we will confer 52 PhD
and 204 master's degrees. Our graduates today represent the following countries: Brazil, Canada, China, Colombia, Ecuador, Egypt, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Iran, Kazakhstan, Libya, Mexico, Nepal, Nigeria, Peru, Saudi Arabia, Spain, South Korea, Sri Lanka, Venezuela, and the United States of America. The Colorado School of Mines Concert Choir will now perform the Mines Alma Mater. The Alma Mater opens convocation and begins commencement, marking the transition from Mines students to Mines alumni. Introducing the Alma Mater are graduates from the Mines Music Program: Arsha Cadianto, Neil Sales, and John Coretti.
Hi, I'm Arsha, and I'm majoring in geophysical engineering.
Neil, I'm majoring in civil engineering.
I'm John, and I'm majoring in computational applied math.
Mines music lets me continue my passion in singing. I didn't think I'd have the opportunity to do that, especially going into a STEM school, but it's nice to have something else off my mind besides all the academic work that we get here.
Being part of Mines Music meant I was around people that also had music as a driving force and people who liked making music and just being part of a group.
Yeah, definitely. Mine's music for me was definitely like an escape. It was a way to kind of get away from all the craziness that the academics at Mines can be. And it's a way to build a community and great friendships and just have a place to belong.
I remember my first time singing the alma mater for the summer graduation my freshman year. And I remember the Christmas concert that we had that December too. And that all felt kind of like a fun just initiation into Mines music.
One of my favorite memories with Mines music was our spring break last year when we went to Poland. I accidentally started a riff-off with the Poland university that we were visiting at. We were having a social mixer and the choir was there, and I asked them what it is that they sing, and they started singing Africa. Everyone tuned in after that, of course, because it's Africa. And then we just started singing our fight songs.
My favorite memory is when the Mines Marching Band went to perform the New Year's Day parade at the Vatican in Italy, where we got to play in front of a couple 100,000 people, and we would have crowds around us just dancing and singing, and even if they had no idea what we were playing, I had a dance off with a guy marching back to the bus. It was fantastic. It was really cool to show other people that we're not just a bunch of math nerds, engineering nerds, chemistry nerds, that we can do things other than that and really shine and excel at it. It was very cool to see. I'd like to apologize to our professor, Robert Clement, for having to deal with us for 4 years. And congratulations to the class of 2020.
Yeah, we did it.
Raise your voices, engineers, your devotion sing to the greatest school of minds. Let the chorus ring. Hail to thee, CSM, to our hearts most dear. Every miner
Please welcome the 17th president of the Colorado School of Mines, Dr. Paul Johnson.
Thanks, Tim, and thanks to Arsha, Neil, and John for starting us off with a great rendition of our alma mater. And a special thanks to all of you who have joined us here today. Yes, it's unfortunate we can't gather today on campus, but we're not going to let that stop us from doing something that's really important to everyone at Mines. And that is recognizing our newest graduates and celebrating the conferral of the degrees that they worked so hard to obtain. Speaking of those degrees, in this ceremony, we will be awarding the most advanced degrees attainable in the sciences and engineering. Our graduates are an elite group, in part because less than 1% of all adults complete either a master's or doctoral degree in engineering or hard sciences, and in part because the degree is from Colorado School of Mines. Those of you here today who are familiar with Mines know that we're a pretty unique university. Since our founding in 1874, and for the past 146 years, Mines is focused on producing the top scientists, engineers, industry leaders, entrepreneurs, and the knowledge and innovations that the world needs. To do this, our graduate degree programs have always evolved to match the changing needs of industry and society. You can see that in what our graduate students are studying and researching today, with programs relevant to energy, manufacturing materials, water and the environment, business and management skills, space resources, computer science and information technology, and health. Many of our master's degree recipients pursued their graduate degrees to get more depth in their major area. Others added breadth in a complementary engineering or science discipline, and some chose to acquire business and management skills through our engineering technology and management program. Continued participation in Mines varsity NCAA athletics teams was a bonus for some, and a few are receiving their second or even third degree from Mines today. Our PhD students wanted to explore new frontiers in science and engineering, and through their research efforts have become the newest world's experts on hydrogeologic systems, subsurface characterization, advanced energy systems, quantum computing, human-machine interactions, artificial intelligence, novel materials, biological and biomechanical systems, energy and mineral policy, and other topics that are critical to society, industry, and the world's future prosperity. While the changes in the world over the past few months have perhaps been unsettling, it's clear that the world needs our bright and creative scientists and engineers even more than ever. I'm going to wrap up here with 2 requests for our graduates. First, please find some meaningful way to thank those who supported you on your Mines journey. Alumni affectionately say that it was tough to get into Mines, but even tougher to get out. You all owe emotional debts to others, but those can be paid off with a hug or a simple thank you. Start with your parents and family, especially your mothers this weekend, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I know they are bursting with pride. Also remember the faculty and coaches who challenged you, the staff who advised you, the donors who supported your scholarships, your bosses and others who mentored you, and the personal network you built at Mines. Both the productive group that helped you complete your degree and the distractive group who kept you from focusing too much on your academic work. Whatever your motivation or the path you followed to get here today, I want you to know that the Mines faculty, staff, leadership, alumni, and trustees recognize your significant accomplishment and are proud to call you graduates of Colorado School of Mines. So my second request is that you share and always carry that pride with you wherever you go in life and your career. And as you make your mark in the world, I hope that you find some way to help others pursue their education dreams. You are all hell of engineers and Orediggers for life. Congratulations. And now I would like to introduce our student speaker, Rania Palmer. Rania earned her master's degree from Mines in 2016 and today is receiving her doctorate in geology. During her time at Mines, Rania wrote and self-published 2 children's books aimed at getting children, and particularly young girls, interested in STEM topics. After graduation, Rania plans to work in the petroleum industry with BPX Energy in Denver. Rania?
Hi, my name is Rania Alden Palmer, and I am a geology doctoral graduate from the Geology and Geological Engineering Department. First of all, let me say that I am so honored to have been selected to be here before you today, giving this speech during this uncertain, unprecedented, Mad Lib your own hot topic word here time. I never imagined having to record this speech in front of 6 yards of green fabric, a dog at my feet, and a cat scratching and meowing outside my office door. Yet here we are. I wanted to start off with a little nugget of honesty, without all of the sugarcoating that we've been both hearing and saying to ourselves, our family, and our friends. That truth being that this kind of sucks. This is not what we had planned after working our rear ends off for years, close to a decade for some of us. Many of you thesis-based graduates had to give your thesis presentations virtually from your living room or bedroom or somewhere more creative. You probably had internet trouble, you probably had Zoom issues, and if you're like me, your cat walked in front of your webcam more than once, rear end, front, and center, during what is supposed to be the most professional, serious 45 minutes of your entire life. This is not ideal. Even if you have set up the most bomb community Zoom meeting with all of your friends and family to celebrate right now, there is still likely a tinge of disappointment. Not being together with your loved ones, cheering you on, and as President Johnson usually encourages, stomping their feet and clapping wildly in the stadium. But here we are. We defended successfully. We celebrated in our own ways. We took rain checks for communal GCB, mountain toad, cannonball, etc. loops around town. We did it, not because it was easy, but because it was hard. We did it in spite of all of the obstacles telling us otherwise. I was trying to think back before the proverbial shoe dropped as to what I would have said on a stage in the Lockridge Arena had this pandemic not happened. And the truth is, I don't know how different my message would have been, because nearly everything I've said is equally apt for anyone who has finished a graduate degree at Mines. We've been through tough times before. That first time you got a dismal grade in a class that you were really excited for. That first moment where you realized you might not actually know what you're doing, like at all. Many of you have persevered through more personal obstacles, heartaches, or planning weddings, or having children, or losing loved ones. All while showing up, getting it done, and getting here. Obstacles are not new to Mines graduates. Lab experiments fail, disappointment abounds, and hopelessness can set in. But we do it anyway, for the love of our craft, for the moments when the lab experiments or code don't fail, and we run giddy to our advisors, unintelligibly pronouncing our great discoveries. Getting to the end this time, this semester, might have had a few more hurdles, but we either leapt over them, pushed them out of the way, or threw blasters dynamite on them so that we could get here. Because even though we learned how to be better scientists and engineers and mathematicians and contributed to our communities, we all collectively learned one other trait along the way: resilience. We have learned that in crises, whether technical, emotional, communal, or global, we get through this. We recover from whatever has hit the fan. We problem solve, we control what we can, and we let everything else go. Because we've learned of our own elasticity. We can come back to pre-crisis mode because we have to. Because as scientists and engineers and mathematicians, we are uniquely designed to fail and get through that failure in order to succeed. The world is changing. There is suddenly a whole new set of problems that need solving. And it couldn't be a more perfect moment for us to bring what we have learned through studies, through our research, through our experiences, and through this pandemic to those who need us. We will bring our failures, our resilience, and our knowledge alike to a humanity that needs them all. To the world, we have shown who we are and what we can do. We are Orediggers, and we can do hard things. And again, I'm not trying to sugarcoat this, but you have forever bragging rights about getting this degree during a global pandemic. So that's kind of cool. Congratulations, graduate class of 2020, and thank you.
Thank you, Rania, for that wonderful message. Today, we're honored to have Colorado Governor Jared Poulos join us. Governor Poulos is an entrepreneur, education leader, and public servant. By the time he was 30, Governor Poulos had launched 3 successful companies and had received the Entrepreneur of the Year distinction from Ernst & Young. Following the success of these ventures, Governor Poulos wanted other Coloradans to have similar opportunities. So he co-founded Techstars, a startup accelerator that mentors entrepreneurs from all walks of life, and Patriot Boot Camp, which helps veterans start their own small businesses after coming home from their service. He also founded several public charter schools for at-risk youth and served as superintendent of one of them, the New America School, which helps immigrants earn their high school diplomas. Prior to becoming elected as governor, Mr. Poulos served 6 years on the State Board of Education and represented Colorado's 2nd Congressional District. With as busy as he is leading Colorado's response to COVID-19 pandemic, we are especially appreciative that he could find the time to be with us here today. Governor Poulos.
Members of the class of 2020 at the Colorado School of Mines. I'm Governor Jared Poulos, and it's an honor to be with you virtually on this special occasion. You know, I accepted an invitation to be with you in person, and like you, I was really looking forward to giving the normal commencement address with your friends and family in the background at the beautiful Mines campus in the foothills of our precious Rocky Mountains. I'm really sorry that we can't be in Golden today in caps and gowns in front of families and friends and faculty and staff. When I accepted this invitation in January, I really expected, as you did, that we'd all be together. I know that it's disappointing because being with those who helped you get there is really one of the most special parts of graduation. And graduations are a special part of life. But in its own strange way, this unprecedented situation really provides an important lesson for graduates that life isn't always going to turn out the way you think it will. And sometimes you have to drop everything. You have to focus on the problem at hand. You have to rise to the challenge of the moment. The last few months have been unprecedented. We've had to confront a public health challenge and an economic challenge unlike any that we've seen in this country and our state during our entire lives. This pandemic requires our constant attention, our diligence, a rapid response, a reliance on data and science, and collective and personal responsibility to slow the spread of coronavirus throughout our state and beyond. I know this hasn't been easy on anybody. This moment requires discipline, sacrifice, determination, teamwork, skills that you happen to have learned during your time at Mines. And our work isn't done yet. There's a long way to go, but even in these uncertain times, we need to find time to celebrate accomplishments like yours, milestones, moments of joy that make life worth living. And that's why today I'm so pleased to be with you, if only virtually. At least we're here together. Now more than ever, I want to congratulate you. By completing your degree at Colorado's proud School of Mines, you've earned something rare. A degree from an institution that helps build and enhance this state since 1874. You've successfully completed a challenging curriculum. You've solved problems. You've overcome obstacles. You've launched new initiatives and launched a few rockets and met the high expectations of your professors, and you should be so proud you've earned a Mines degree. In the grand scheme of things, most of you are graduating with a STEM degree at a time when we need you more than ever before. The brilliant minds in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, the ranks of whom you are about to join, are the ones who will lead us out of this public health and economic crisis. Discovery, innovation, pushing the boundaries of what's possible, this is what will help you win the future. We've got a long way to go to climb out of this difficult situation, but thankfully Coloradans are no stranger to climbing, especially Mines graduates. Your career at Mines begins with a climb. In fact, your first semester you climb together to the top of Mount Zion. In the days and years after that, you continue your march upward as a community of collaborators and teammates through common courses, design competition, projects, and fun. While you didn't finish your final semester on campus, you did finish it together. That community that you built will remain with you for the rest of your lives, as will your remembrances of this extraordinary graduation event. I wish I could see that community up close and in Golden today, and I know that you and your families do too. I know we all wish we could be there, and that opportunity will come. And when it does, whether you're driving back to campus from downtown Denver or flying in from Dubai, I hope you pause, not only to celebrate all you've accomplished in the lab and classroom, but to celebrate one another. Pause to celebrate your community, what it is, what it will be. And I wish you the good luck and Godspeed in your future endeavors, because the world needs you now more than ever. On behalf of the grateful state of Colorado, I want to say thank you for listening and congratulations to the Colorado School of Mines class of 2020. Go Orediggers!
Thank you, Governor Poulos. And now it's time to play a video clip from our Rath Award ceremony, which was conducted earlier.
I think the role our graduate students have in research is really well illustrated by the Raf Research Award. This recognizes the PhD thesis with the potential for greatest domestic societal impact. This goal of societal impact is at the core of mines research, and it has been from our origins in supporting gold and silver mining nearly 150 years ago. So I had the privilege of reading the nominations for the award and was really struck by how well they exemplify mines research across the board, especially in terms of depth, diversity, and relevance to society. For instance, you, our graduate students, have been working hard in the lab, in the field, and sometimes deeply buried in complex multidimensional calculations in order to change what's possible in modeling and predicting both imminent and longer-term hazards, in new materials available to industry for both energy and in the environment, and in the processing of steel, which is the world's most pervasive engineering and construction material. More specifically, you have discovered new characteristics of a type of underground erosion that results in over $40 billion in flooding damage worldwide. And you've generated new forecasting models for this erosion that dramatically outperform the state of the art. You have changed our understanding of and our ability to predict the changes in water fluxes and storage of the nearly 1/4 of Northern Hemisphere land that is underlain by permafrost. And you have moved the world closer to understanding the vulnerability of these waters in a changing climate. You have fundamentally changed our understanding of certain porous crystalline materials, which are important to industrial processes related to both energy and the environment. And you have developed new knowledge regarding how defects form during the continuous casting of steel, as well as techniques that apply that new knowledge in the steel industry. And you have overturned fundamental assumptions about steel processing with new methods that could both increase its strength and decrease production costs. You are solving problems that matter. You're solving problems that benefit the world. You, our graduate students, you represent the full range of our mission as a public institution. You teach, you work with the community, and you conduct research. And doing all of these things, you remind us that knowledge is not static. Today, more than ever before, as the world changes faster than any one of us can comprehend, knowledge needs to grow and evolve. And in the many professional roles that you are soon to take on, you are critical to solving the problems presented by this complex, dynamic world in which we live. So now, in the context of solving problems for the world, let's get back to where I started with the Raf Research Award. This award was established several years ago by Dr. Rath, who was at the time a senior official at the Naval Research Laboratory in Washington, D.C. He is also a member of the National Academy of Engineering, along with a very long list of other awards and honors, and truly passionate about the role of research in society. Before I announce the winner, I would like to acknowledge and recognize all of the finalists for the Rath Award. Dave Ray, Hydrologic Sciences and Engineering. Jolie Lucero, Chemical and Biological Engineering. Matthew Zapula, Mechanical Engineering. Stephen Simmons, Geology and Geological Engineering. And Virginia Ginny User, Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Congratulations to all of you for your outstanding scholarship and theses. And now, the winner of this year's Rath Research Award is Virginia User. Ginny's dissertation is titled, "The Effect of Rapid Tempering on Microstructural Evolution and Toughness Within the Tempered Martensite Embrittlement Regime of 4340 and 300M." Ginny was co-advised by Dr. John Spear and Dr. Amy Clark from the Metallurgical and Materials Engineering Department. A foundational aspect of Ginny's research is the rapid heat treatment of steel. Steel is one of the most commonly used materials in the world. It's found in every aspect of our lives, in cars and construction projects, refrigerators and washing machines, cargo ships and surgical scalpels, and it can be recycled over and over again without changing its properties. Now, the rapid heat treatment methodologies introduced in Ginny's thesis have generated interest across both industry and the Department of Defense. Her methods identify a potential new pathway to improve significantly the strength toughness properties of steel, while at the same time increasing production efficiency. The impact of Ginny's research is transformational, as it completely challenges the community's longstanding beliefs about a phenomenon called tempered martensite embrittlement, which leads to the failure of structural steel components. Ginny's research suggests that tempered martensite embrittlement may actually be eliminated by short tempering treatments. The practical impact of Ginny's research is amplified by a range of direct industry collaborations, and her work has also been identified by the Department of Defense, and particularly the US Army, who seek to collaborate with mines in changing what's possible in steel processing. Additionally, Ginny's research has earned 2 industrially sponsored awards for significant innovation impact in the field of thermal processing. Ginny, your research is clearly having significant societal impacts with ripple effects that we expect to see for years to come. We look forward to following your accomplishments in the future, and we congratulate you on your award.
Thank you. I had to unmute myself. Thank you so much. I'm so honored.
It's really amazing work, and I will say that all of your thesis projects were mind-blowing. It's one of the greatest privileges I have to actually read the summaries, to read how your advisors rave about you and all the things that you managed to do. I don't know how many hours you can possibly jam into a week, but it seems like you were using every single one of them to do all the stuff that you've done. So thanks for it, and thanks for all the contributions you're going to be making in the future.
Now, before we move on to the ritual that makes your degrees official, we have a special message for our soon-to-be newest graduates and newest alumni. From Patty Starzer, Mines alumna, alumni spouse, and alumni parent. Patty and her husband, Mike, through their scholarship program, have made it possible for many students to attend Mines who might not have otherwise. Patty is also a member of the Board of Trustees, who, by the way, have to approve your degrees today, so be particularly attentive. Patty?
Congratulations, class of 2020. The number that signifies perfect vision, but the year that is ironically blurry. In spite of the obstacles you've encountered, you have persevered to the great accomplishment and celebration of today. You've graduated from one of the most rigorous engineering and science universities in the world. I hope you take great pride and joy in this success. My name is Patty Starzer, and I'm a Mines trustee. Nearly 37 years ago, my husband Mike and I graduated from Mines with a great sense of achievement and anticipation for what lay ahead. We were getting married in a month and moving to Alaska. Engineering jobs were scarce and our future was uncertain. We were lucky to have one job between the two of us. We set off to be grown-ups, to practice the skills we learned at Mines and the values we were taught as children. We began a new chapter in our lives. Many people set resolutions at the new year or other significant turning points like graduation. I also find value in taking a look back. I pull up my calendar and journal and reflect on where I've been, people I've met, things I've done, prayers that were answered. It's a humbling experience. I'm always surprised at how many blessings there were that I'd forgotten. I always look back and say, if God gave me this as a to-do list, I would say, that's impossible. There are not enough days, and I am not that smart. It grows my faith and confidence in God, knowing that I could not have accomplished all those things on my own. I challenge you to reflect back on your years at Mines, your travels, relationships, trials, failures, successes. Be thankful for all of them. Remember those who helped you get where you are today, and take time to count your blessings. Thanks for letting me share this special day with you, graduates. I welcome you as fellow Mines alumni. I look forward to the awesome places you'll experience, the amazing people you'll meet and become, and the remarkable things you'll do with your lives. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Thank you, Patty, for those wonderful remarks. Okay, graduates, we've reached perhaps the most important part of the program. This is when we finally make your degrees official. And for this, I'm going to need the help of Provost Rick Holtz and Colorado School of Mines Trustees Chairman Tom Jordan. Provost Holtz and Chairman Jordan, will you please join us? All right, great to have you here today with us. Thank you for being here and being part of this ceremony. Provost Holtz, before we confer the degrees, would you tell us a little bit about our graduates today?
I'd be happy to, President Johnson. Today we will be conferring degrees to 52 doctoral candidates and 203 master's degree recipients. This is a class that has distinguished itself both academically and through its research efforts. And you heard about a few of those earlier in the ceremony.
All right, thank you, Provost Holtz. Chairman Jordan, before the conferral, would you like to make any remarks to our students?
Well, President Johnson, the only thing I'd like to say, I was recalling a dinner I had a few years ago with a peer CEO who leaned over to me and said, you know, the thing about a Mines grad, you can send them anywhere in the world for any problem and they'll figure it out. So graduates, the world needs your problem-solving skills. Good luck, and as a fellow alum, I'll be cheering you on.
All right, thank you, Chairman Jordan. Okay, Provost Holtz, are you ready?
We are. All right, would today's candidates for the doctoral, professional masters, and master's degrees please rise? All right, everybody get up for those couches, chairs, behind the desk. All right, I think we have everybody. President Johnson, with the approval of the faculty, I recommend that the doctoral, professional masters, masters of science, or masters of engineering degree, as appropriate, be conferred upon these candidates. The candidates who are unable to be present today will be awarded their degrees in absentia. Their names appear in the program.
Thank you, Provost Holtz. Trustee Jordan, it is my great honor to present to the Board of Trustees these outstanding candidates. Each has been recommended by the amazing faculty of Colorado School of Mines to receive his or her degree. I concur with the faculty, and it is my honor to present these candidates for your acceptance.
President Johnson, by action of the Board of Trustees of the Colorado School of Mines, taken on May 1, 2020, I direct you to award these candidates the degrees which they have earned.
All right, thank you. Now the best part of being a university president is reading these last few lines at a graduation ceremony. And here they are. Upon recommendation of the faculty, by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon all those who have been recommended by the faculty the degrees of doctorate, professional master, master of science, or master of engineering, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, class of 2020. All right, I'm not sure if you noticed it in today's program or not, which is available online at our commencement site, but two of our graduates were just conferred 2 degrees, and I'd like to recognize them here real quickly. So Zachary Zodi just received master's degrees in petroleum engineering and space resources, and Tamir Appel just received master's degrees in underground construction and tunneling and his PhD in civil engineering. So congratulations again to Zachary, Tamir, and all of our degree recipients today. And now it is time for our grand finale. Usually this is where we have everyone stand up in Lockridge and we ask the audience to clap, cheer, stomp, and generally make noise any way they want, all to show our newest graduates one last time how proud we are of them. Sometimes we also ask our graduating varsity student athletes to lead us in the fight song. And you know, haven't thought about it, I don't see any reason why we can't do that remotely. Varsity athletes, are you up for this? Yes? All right, great. You're a fantastic group. And while you're getting ready, I'll take this opportunity to tell the audience what you have accomplished in addition to earning your graduate degrees today. We have, between our 2 ceremonies, 71 NCAA Division II varsity student athletes graduating. Of those that are participating in this graduate degree ceremony, 17 of them have been RMAC champions, either as a member of a team or as an individual competitor. 20 of them have appeared in NCAA postseason competition. 6 have been selected as All-Americans in their sports. 3 have been awarded academic All-American status, and 3 of them are national champions. And for the past 5 years, our athletics program has owned the RMAC Cup, recognizing the most successful program in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. And that's just amazing. Once again, for the audience, before we jump into this closing fight song, thanks so much for being here. It feels great to be together with you, even if only virtually. And to all of our Hell of Engineer graduates, congratulations. And we look forward to a time when we can say that to you in person. All right, everybody up? We got to stand up to do this part. Can't sing the fight song sitting down. So let's stand up, and I'm going to go listen out the window, but I want to be able to hear people, everybody doing the loudest big "whoa" part at the beginning of this, okay? So varsity athletes, are you ready? Okay, let's do this, Orediggers. Congratulations, everyone.
I wished I had a barrel of rum and sugar 300 pounds.
A college bell to mix it in and clap and stir it around. Like every honest fellow, I take my whiskey clear.
I'm a rambling wreck from Golden Tech, a hell of an engineer.
A hell of an engineer.
Like every honest fellow, I take my whiskey clear. I'm a rambling wreck from Golden Tech, a hell of an engineer. Hail, hail, gangs all here. Hey, what the hell do we care as long as we get our share? Hail, hail, the gang's all here. F-I-N-E-S. What the hell do we care now?
Congratulations, class of 2020. You are joining an elite group of engineers recognized the world over for their can-do attitude. Make us proud.
You guys did it. You survived the craziest, toughest semester ever, and we're all really proud of you. Congrats. If you can do this, you can do anything.
Congratulations, Orediggers.
Congratulations to all of you from the Civil and Environmental Engineering Department. We are so proud of all you've accomplished, and thank you for taking this journey with us.
From the Office of Graduate Studies, congratulations, 2020 graduates.
We wish everyone a happy graduation at Colorado School of Mines from Bartley Schraderwood to you.
On behalf of the geophysics family, I would like to congratulate you for your success and superb performance in our program.
From the Gen Chem team!
Congratulations!
Great job, everyone!
Best wishes!
Go Orediggers!
You did it! Chemtastic job! Enjoy your summer!
Hey, just want to give a quick shout out to the graduates of 2020 and just want to ask you, do you know what's better than Pug Day? Graduation Day. Shiloh and I want to wish you a great graduation. Do excellent things when you're out there.
Congratulations, class of 2020. We've loved having you on campus. We're going to miss you. Best of luck in all of your future adventures. Go Orediggers!
This is Stu Bennett, class of 66, and I want to congratulate and welcome the class of 20 to the Mines alumni family. Congratulations, way to go. We look forward to your future and all you're going to accomplish in your life. Go Orediggers!
From the Engineering Design and Society Division and the Humanitarian Engineering Program, I want to extend congratulations to the Orediggers class of 2020. I invite all of you to always follow your passions, stay true to your convictions, but be willing to question them every now and then, and more importantly, dedicate your talents to the improvement of human well-being.
Congratulations, class of 2020.
Hey, all you graduates out there, congratulations from the Petroleum Engineering Department. We're so proud of you, we're so happy to have gotten to know you, and we really look forward to seeing what great things you accomplish as Mines alum. Congratulations, and good luck in the future.
Hi, this is Andrew Flynn, class of 1986. I want to congratulate the class of 2020. These are tough times right now, but we've had them before, and we'll have them again, and you'll make it through. Go get them, Orediggers.
Y'all are amazing. Best of luck in everything you do.
Class of 2020, I just wanted to say it's been such a pleasure having you in my classes, and congratulations on making it over the finish line.
On behalf of the entire library and museum faculty and staff, I would like to extend a hearty congratulations to all of our fabulous Mines graduates.
Congratulations, graduates. You have succeeded under very difficult circumstances, so I applaud you. Good luck.
Hello, graduating students from Mechanical Engineering. I'm John Berger, Department Head. We all wish you the very best in your careers. Dr. Savina has a message for our seniors.
Congratulations. We wish we could personally congratulate you today. You've made a lasting impact on our program and our faculty. We wish you the best and hope you will stay in touch. Next, Dr. Porter has a message for our graduate students.
Congratulations, grad students. You've endured lab shutdowns and virtual defenses, but you've made it through. Well done.
Congratulations, class of 2020. You guys rock.
Congratulations. What a ride the last 5 weeks have been. But you did it in true Orediggers style. And though the COVID-19 outbreak might be a pivotal moment for humanity, I know you have the skills, attitude, and desire to use this moment as a chance to make a difference for the good. So I challenge you, go out there and make minds proud as you change the world.
I just want to convey the best wishes from the physics department. We all hope that you will have success on the immediate path that lays ahead of you.
Congratulations on your graduation. You've just finished 4 years. You're just about to start 40 more. Remember your friends. That big Minds family is going to do you as much good as your classwork and your achievements. You've earned it. Enjoy it. Congratulations.
I would like to congratulate all the Orediggers graduating this May, especially those in mining engineering program. This is a major milestone in your life as you transition from being a student to professional. We wish you the best of luck.
Congratulations, Orediggers! You've done great things to get to this point, and I know you will continue to do great things. Your Minds family is always here for you.
Congratulations from the whole metallurgical and materials engineering faculty and staff. I wish I could be there in person shaking your hand. It's been an eventful year, tough year, but you made it. Congratulations again, and please stay in touch. We'd love to hear from you.
On behalf of the faculty and staff in economics and business, congratulations. We know how hard you worked and we're so proud of you. And now we're looking forward to seeing what you do in the next phase of your life, whether you're a hell of an engineer or a hell of an economist.
Congratulations, graduating seniors. We will sure miss having you around the department.
You have a bright future ahead of you once we all manage to get through this temporary fog of uncertainty. Be confident. You have the ability and strength, the support of the entire Minds family to help you succeed. Here's to a future with many opportunities for you to do great things.
Congrats, class of 2020. We're so excited to see where you go next with your Minds education.
Congratulations to all our May 2020 graduates. We're proud of you, and we can't wait to see what you do when you get out there in the world. Stay in touch.
Congratulations, graduates. We're so proud of you. Now it's time to celebrate.
Congratulations, Colorado School of Mines, class of 2020.
Big congratulations to all the Orediggers graduating this spring semester. All those late nights and hard work have paid off. Congratulations, graduates. We can't wait to see what your future brings. Wait, what?